Have you ever wished you had a secret remote control for people? One that could help you build trust faster, get a yes more often, or simply understand what makes someone tick? Well, what if I told you that you kind of already do? It's not a shiny gadget with buttons, but a set of fascinating psychology tricks that work a little like cheat codes for human interaction. And just so we're clear, these aren't about manipulation or mind control in a spooky, villainous way. Instead, think of them as tools to help you communicate better, connect more deeply, and navigate the wonderfully weird world of human behavior. These little mind hacks are all around us, happening every single day, whether we notice them or not. Advertisers use them to sell us things we suddenly can't live without. Skilled negotiators use them to close deals that seem impossible. Even kids are masters of these techniques, often without even realizing it. Ever seen a child ask for a tiny cookie before launching their campaign for a whole new video game? That's psychology in action, my friends. By understanding the why behind these simple tricks, you can start to spot them in the wild and, even better, begin to use them yourself to make your life just a little bit smoother and your connections a little bit stronger. The beauty of these psychological keys is their simplicity. You don't need a PhD in neuroscience or years of study to start applying them. In fact, you can probably start using them the very same day you learn about them. Let's start with one of the most powerful yet subtle tools in your new psychological toolkit: mirroring. It's exactly what it sounds like. You subtly mimic the body language of the person you're talking to. If they lean forward on their elbows, you might lean forward a bit too. If they cross their legs, you wait a moment and then cross yours. If they pick up their coffee mug for a sip, you might do the same. So, why on earth does this work? It all comes down to a fascinating part of our brain that deals with empathy and connection. When we see someone subtly reflecting our own posture and gestures, our subconscious mind registers it as a sign of similarity and rapport. It sends a message that says, "Hey, this person is like me. They get me. They're on my team." This feeling of being in sync builds trust and makes the other person feel more comfortable and open with you. Let's paint a picture. Imagine you're at a job interview. The hiring manager is friendly but professional, sitting upright with her hands clasped on the desk. Instead of slouching back, you could subtly adjust your posture to be similarly upright and engaged. Later, if she leans back in her chair and smiles, you can allow yourself to relax a bit too, perhaps mirroring the smile. This nonverbal echo creates an invisible thread of connection. Remember, the golden rule of mirroring is to be subtle and delayed. If you copy every single move instantly, you'll just look strange and possibly a little creepy. The goal is to be a mirror, not a shadow. Wait a few seconds before you adjust your position. Focus on the bigger movements, a shift in posture, a head tilt, crossing or uncrossing arms, rather than tiny, fidgety actions. Here's a trick that feels completely counterintuitive in our fast-paced, noisy world: the strategic use of silence. We're often so terrified of awkward silences that we rush to fill every single gap in a conversation with words, any words. But what if I told you that embracing the pause can actually give you more power and get you better information? When you ask a question, especially an important one, and the other person gives you a brief or incomplete answer, just be quiet. This technique is incredibly effective because it creates a social vacuum that the other person will feel compelled to fill. Most people find silence in a conversation uncomfortable, so they will often start talking again just to break the tension. And this is where the magic happens. The information they volunteer to fill that silence is often more honest, more detailed, or more revealing than their initial rehearsed response. Think about a negotiation scenario. Let's say you're discussing a salary for a new job. You've been offered a number and you respond with, "Thank you for the offer. I was hoping for something closer to X. Is there any flexibility on your end?" The hiring manager gives a short reply like, "Well, the budget is pretty tight." This is the perfect moment for the power of the pause. Instead of immediately launching into a defense of why you deserve more, just stay silent. Look at them expectantly, with a calm and friendly expression. More often than not, they will break the silence themselves. You can use this in everyday life, too. Trying to figure out what your friend really thinks about your new haircut? Ask them, and if they give a vague "it's nice," Just smile and wait. That tiny moment of silence might prompt them to add more honest feedback. Mastering the art of the pause isn't about creating awkwardness. It's about giving people the space to elaborate. It shows you're a thoughtful listener who is genuinely interested in what they have to say, not just in what you're going to say next. Now for a classic, the foot in the door technique. This is one you've almost certainly experienced, and honestly, it's brilliantly effective. The core idea is simple. You start by making a very small, easy-to-accept request. Once the person says yes to that tiny thing, they are psychologically much more likely to say yes to a second, larger request. But why does our brain fall for this? It's all about our deep-seated need for consistency. Once we agree to something, even something tiny, we see ourselves as the kind of person who does that thing. We have made a small commitment, and our brain wants our future actions to be consistent with our past ones. Saying no to the bigger related request would create a sense of internal conflict or dissonance. By agreeing to the small initial request, we have subtly shifted our self-perception. Here's a classic real-world example. Imagine a charity worker on the street. Instead of immediately asking for a $20 donation, they might start with a much smaller request. Would you be willing to sign our petition to help save the local park? Signing a petition is quick, easy, and costs nothing. Most people would say yes. After you've signed, the charity worker then says, "Thank you so much. People like you who care about our parks are the reason we can make a difference. Would you also consider a small donation of just $5? You can use this in your own life in all sorts of ways. Trying to get a coworker to help you with a big, time-consuming project? Don't start by asking for hours of their time. Instead, begin with a tiny request. Hey, do you have 2 minutes to look at this one slide and tell me if the title makes sense? That's an easy yes. A few days later, you can follow up with a slightly bigger ask. Thanks again for your help the other day. I'm a bit stuck on the data section. Could you spare 15 minutes to brainstorm with me? By starting small and building on a series of yeses, you make your larger request feel like a natural progression. So there you have it, a peek into the secret operating system of the human mind. We've uncovered the magic of mirroring body language to build an instant, unspoken bridge of trust with someone new. By subtly reflecting their posture and gestures, you send a powerful subconscious signal that you are on the same wavelength. Next, we explored the profound power of the pause, learning to embrace strategic silence as a true superpower. We also pulled back the curtain on the foot in the door technique. This classic persuasion tool shows us that the path to a big yes is often paved with a series of smaller ones. These aren't just party tricks. They are fundamental tools for better communication and deeper connection. The real goal isn't to manipulate, but to understand. By recognizing these patterns in human behavior, you can navigate your social world with more grace, empathy, and effectiveness. So go out there and try them. Be a people detective. Mirror someone's posture in your next meeting. Use a strategic pause to get a better answer, or try the foot in the door for a small favor. Play with these tools, have fun, and watch as you unlock a new level of understanding with the people all around you. Your new remote control is ready for use.